All right, the wait is over, ladies and gentlemen. It is finally here. The 2024 NFL season is upon us. I picked all 272 regular season games. It gave me some records, gave me some playoff teams. I'm going to go through division by division, team by team, breaking things down for y'all, what you can expect from the upcoming NFL season. And obviously, I will be 100% correct on every single one of these picks. There will be no misses on this list. But let's start it off with the AFC South, an intriguing division. You're surprised at the NFL last year, the Houston Texans winning that division. But there are a couple of teams, I think, that are going to be clawing at a spot at the top of the mountain in the AFC South. Let's get it going here with your Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, Jaguars fans, it was a tough finish to 2023. 9-8 on the season, kind of a master collapse down the stretch to lose out on not only the division title, but a playoff berth in general. Now, Trevor Lawrence was banged up pretty much all of down the stretch, and it wasn't helpful whatsoever. But now we enter year 3 with him and Doug Peterson. Trevor gets paid, gets the long-term extension, so they're all in on the Trevor Lawrence project, and I think it's going to be a better season this year. Now, you lose wide receiver Calvin Ridley, but you went and replaced him with guys like Gabe Davis and then drafted Brian Thomas out of LSU. I think that's going to help replace that hole. You have Evan Ingram, still an elite tight end. You have Travis Etienne, who's one of the best running backs in football. The offensive line is a major concern. I think they didn't do a lot to upgrade it here, but it could be a little bit better, just another year working together. You got to protect Trevor Lawrence. You got to keep him healthy, because that's where things kind of sputtered and fell out of control. And the Jags looked really good in that middle stretch of the season. They just totally floundered late while Lawrence was struggling with the health issues. I think he's going to be healthy this year, and that's going to be a major plus for this team to grind out wins down the stretch. Now, the defense wasn't anything to write home about either. They draft Mason Smith to help beef up that defensive line. You signed Darnell Savage, Ronald Darby, and Irk Armstead to really kind of help out that secondary and, again, improve that defensive line. You've re-signed Josh Allen. That's a big plus. He's one of the best pass rushers in football. That Josh Allen, not the Buffalo Josh Allen, really going to help this Jaguars team out a lot. The division is tough, but I think the Jags are going to have a strong season. I get why people could be out on them, but I'm in on the Jaguars this season. It burned me last year. Don't burn me again, Jags. I think the Jags are going to go 10-7, find themselves in the postseason, and I could be good enough to win that division. 10-7, a strong number in a very tough division. Okay, now your Tennessee Titans. Tennessee kind of fell off the map last year. 6-11. They fire head coach Mike Vrabel. It was time. I know a lot of guys like him. I think Mike Vrabel is a good head coach. They bring in Brian Callahan as the new head man, the former offensive coordinator in Cincinnati. And this is going to be a big question. How much input and role did he have in developing Joe Burrow and this Bengals offense? He wasn't calling plays in Cincinnati. That was Zach Taylor. So it's a little bit of a risk, I think, and an interesting play, but they're going all in on their young quarterback in Will Levis, who I thought showed some flashes more than I thought he would last season. I thought Will Levis was going to be kind of a bust, but he had some moments there, but he also had some bad moments there. He was less efficient than Kenny Pickett. That's not good. Kenny Pickett is terrible and stuff, but they did lose the hammer. King Henry, Derrick Henry finally gone. He carried this franchise for the last 70 years. So it's kind of a reset here. They bring in guys like Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard to try and help the offense out. They also boost up the secondary, getting L'Jarius Sneed and Chibi Awuzie. That helps a lot. Also center up with Lloyd Cushenberry to protect your young quarterback. So I did like the moves they went. They drafted J.C. Latham. That was going to help out on the left tackle or right tackle side. I think he's going to play left tackle for Tennessee. So that helps them out. I like Devondre Sweat out of Texas also for the defensive side of the ball. Look, Tennessee is kind of a hard team to get a grasp on. I'm not really quite sure how Tennessee is going to look. They always feel like they sometimes overperform, and then they didn't really overperform last year. So that was kind of confusing. They could be really bad. They could also be kind of good. I don't think they're going to be good enough to get themselves into the playoffs, but is Will Levis going to take that step and be a franchise-type quarterback? Is he going to be in that 15-10 range, or is he more in that 20-25 range? And I think he's going to be a lot closer to 20 than he is 10, probably maybe at 20 as a quarterback. I'm just not a huge Will Levis guy. He puts mayo in his coffee. It's kind of a no for me, dog. But I think the Titans are going to struggle in a really good division. I got them going 5-12, but it could not, it could be an okay season if they can get to 6 or 7 wins, and maybe Will Levis shows that he is more of a franchise quarterback. Otherwise, they're going to have to be drafting a new guy, and you don't really want to be in that kind of situation as a franchise in Tennessee. So 5-12, definitely not making the playoffs. All right, before we hop into Indianapolis and the Texans, if you haven't already, drop a quick like on this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, helps us out in the algorithm, supports me. And if you want to go see one of these AFC South teams, hop on to SeatGeek, use code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase. You can give me firsthand scouting and tell me how wrong I was about this team. So if you want to check one of these teams out, use that code, but let's get back into it. Your Indianapolis Colts. Okay, Indianapolis 9-8 last year, kind of a heartbreaking home loss to the Texans to miss out on the division and the playoffs. But hey, Shane Steichen was a first-year head coach last year, and he did magic. You lose your rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson 4 games into the season with an AC joint injury. In comes Gardner Minshew. You have a really solid season. Now he's gone. You lose him. You lose backup running back Zach Moss. So now it's kind of all on Anthony Richardson. They did add Joe Flacco to back him up, but it's all about AR-15, baby. Anthony Richardson, and I don't know what I'm going to expect from Richardson. He was excellent in his 4 games he played, but I have a rule. It's only 4 games. Anybody can be good in the NFL for 4 to 6 games, especially at quarterback. It's what can you do when teams get film on you, when they know what your tendencies are, take away what you like to do. How are you able to adjust and make them pay for it? So that's going to be the big concern. He's essentially a rookie this year. I think we're going to see an up and down season from Richardson. He struggles with his accuracy. He has a huge arm and can throw the ball downfield, but he struggles with his accuracy. He's an elite runner, though. He runs the football with power, authority, and is hyper athletic. That could be concerning from an injury standpoint. You don't love quarterbacks doing that, but I also really like the weapons the Colts have this year. You have Jonathan Taylor at running back. You have Michael Pittman Jr. at wide receiver. Now, A.D. Mitchell's a little banged up there. I just like this cast of characters he has. They're kind of an interesting team. The defense isn't the best defense in the world. They lose Samson Ebukam. I butchered that. They lose their edge rusher. He had 9.5 sacks last year. He's out for the season. That hurts them. Their defensive line was kind of the best part of their defense last year. Secondary is not really that good. I mean, people are saying it could be better. I just don't know. Secondary's so hard to figure out, but everybody's linebackers in the secondary kind of feel like they're bad these days. I think it's an up and down season, but Shane Steichen is the wizard. He's the real deal. I think he does good enough. Colts repeat 9-8 again on the season, but this year it is good enough to find them in a wild card spot. I got the Colts in the wild card at 9-8, so they're in the postseason 9-8. I think this is going to be a successful year for the Colts and kind of grind through some troubles with Anthony Richardson, and he proves himself to be more than a capable franchise quarterback. Okay, finally, the Houston Texans, your defending division champs, 10-7 last year, get a home playoff win against the Browns. You know, they lose to the Ravens in the second round, but hey, it's a young, way ahead of schedule team. Love DeMeco Ryans as a head coach. They did lose a lot of pieces on this team. You lose running back Devin Singletary, who was your lead back last year. You lose some guys on the defense like Malik Collins, Blake Cashman, and Jonathan Greenyard, but they came in and they spent their money in the offseason. They added some instant win now, guys. You signed Danielle Hunter from Minnesota. You trade for Stephon Diggs. You add linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair, Miles Bryant, cornerback, and running back Joe Mixon to help round out this offense. This could easily be the best offense in the NFL. The offensive line is more than solid enough. CJ Stroud just continues to elevate, get better, and when you look at this cast of characters on his weapons, I mean, it's unbelievable. Joe Mixon, super solid. Maybe doesn't get the love he needs to anymore, but he's super solid, super consistent. Going to be a great red zone addition. You have Dalton Schultz, who's a really solid tight end, but the wide receivers, man, I love Nico Collins. He's an elite #1 wide receiver. I think he just does everything right as a wide receiver. Tank Dell coming back from injury, a true deep threat burner over the top, excellent route runner, and he finds ways to get open and catch the football. And then you add Stephon Diggs. We know Diggs had some trouble last season with in Buffalo. Some, there was drama. There's always drama with Stephon Diggs. But Houston and CJ Stroud really struggled in those short to intermediate throws last year. That's where he was the worst. And Diggs is still an elite route runner. He thrives in those short situations. I think he's a perfect add for this team. As long as he can behave himself and keep himself happy, I think it's going to be an excellent season for the Texans. The defense will be good enough. DeMeco Ryans is a professional head coach, and he'll coach that defense up and let the offense thrive. Maybe they keep their offensive coordinator. I think that's a huge, huge thing for them. I expect the Texans to be great once again, and I got them going 12-5, back-to-back titles for your Houston Texans, potentially your best team or number one seed in the AFC this season. I'm in on the Texans. I'm buying the hype. I think it should be an excellent year for them. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who am I too high on? Who am I too low on? Are you buyers in the Texans? Maybe I'm sleeping on the Titans a little bit. Maybe you're on the Will Levis train. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on this video. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every single day. Sign up for a channel membership. Helps support me. Allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Tomorrow, we'll be knocking out the NFC West. Yes, we're knocking out every single division every day leading up to the start of the 2024 season. So the NFC West tomorrow. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all then.